Hello, my name is Steven Nieves, or Steven Neves, however you prefer to call me. I'm going to show you how I do my drum playthroughs. They're a little different from drum covers. The way I do them, usually drum covers or live performances, I do the audio and the video, I capture them at the same time. But for drum playthroughs, I usually pre-do the audio and then do the video and kind of sync them together. They're pretty similar, except one is more like concentrated on capturing a live performance and one is more about making everything sound and look as good as possible. So this video is specifically about playthroughs. It's kind of an overall of my whole process. I could get very detailed and make like a video of every aspect of it if I really wanted to cover everything, but this is more like a covering all of it and kind of walking you through all the stages. This song will be OG Loco by Of Mice and Men. So for this song, I'm actually going to program everything because I feel like I can figure out the parts by ear. So I'm going to program the bass, the guitar, and the drums and everything beforehand. And that way I have like a fully original cover instead of playing to a track, which could get me into copyright issues and get me into trouble if I post it in certain websites. So I'm just going to make everything from scratch pretty much. So the first step before doing any of that is I actually learn the track right on these drums here, and then I will go to the next step. So I just woke up. I have school and work throughout the day, so I have to wake up relatively early. So I wake up at 7 so I can drum from 8 to 9, and that's kind of the only pocket that I have to play drums right now. And so I'm here going to learn the song, and got my kit right here, got the song right there. I use a program called Audacity. It's free and it's like super simple. The reason I use like a DAW, simple as it is because if you use like the native player, like when you play it and pause it and play it again, it'll start playing where you paused it last. Whereas on a DAW like this, if you play it and pause it and then play it again, it'll start wherever the marker was. So if you need to hear a part over and over again, then this is great because you can select those bars or play at the start of the bar and just play it, pause it, play it, pause it, and you'll always hear the right thing, and you won't have to like scroll back. It's a hassle to do. Usually for songs, I'll just play it and listen to the track. I'll listen to a little bit of it, maybe like 2-4 bars, sometimes even a whole verse depending on how complicated the song is. And then I'll learn that portion and get that portion very tight, as tight as I could. And then I'll play it over again. I kind of make a little rule for myself. If I can play it 3 times like all right, and that means that I'm good to move to the next part. And I kind of do that for the whole song, and then I break it down into bigger and bigger chunks. So I'll do like 2-4 bars, then I'll do like the intro or the verse or the song part itself, and then I'll play it all through, and then I'll play the whole song. So after I have like all those little chunks, I have to like go in again and make sure like the transitions are right. Any parts that are not as tight as I want them to be, I brush them over and like make sure everything's good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna start learning the song. I got my GoPro always recording. On my Instagram at Steven Neves is where I put like my daily stuff. So when I'm rehearsing for a song or practicing or whatever it is, I have that recorded. I try to post daily there. So if you want to see like kind of like the daily things that I'm doing, most of it is just here learning songs. Then Instagram is where it's at. The full length videos will be on like my Facebook page, also at Steven Neves, and YouTube channel. Hey guys, so I am in the library. Reason being, I told you on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays I only have an hour to practice on physical drums. Tuesdays and Thursdays I don't have any time at all because as soon as I wake up I have to go to class. So I have 2 classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays and some time in between. So I come here and I learn it just tapping on stuff because that's the only way I can do it on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It actually helps me a little bit because when you have like the drums, it's a lot easier to kind of mess around and play stuff that you already know, but that's not actually what the song is doing. You have no option but to learn it exactly how it is, which helps out because I need it to be as exact as possible if I'm gonna replace the audio later with something that it's like programmed. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. Okay, so now that I have the song down good enough to play it live or in the studio, I am going to go on my DAW here. I use FL Studio, and I'm actually going to program what my performance will be. The reason I do this is because with the tools I have, that's the greatest quality of sound I can achieve without having to go to get my drums recorded somewhere or having to pay someone else to do it. So this is kind of like the best sound that I get with my skills and tools available. I'm gonna start right here. What I decided to do for this song, since I know I kind of thought that I could get it by ear, all the instruments, I actually programmed everything. So I got the bass and both guitars here, and I've got the backing track, and that's what I was modeling it after. I can't play it because copyright issues, but this is what I was listening to when I was creating this. So let's take a listen so you can hear how it's sounding so far. So yeah, so far it's sounding pretty close to the actual track and as far as notes. So how to go in there and try to like humanize it a little bit so it doesn't sound so much like a machine. I have like the whole song made out like that. And so I am going to show you real quick how I like kind of what programs I use for that. So for guitars, I use a program called Real LPC. This by itself, what it does is like it tries to emulate how a guitar player would play a guitar. So if you make a power chord or something like that, it'll strum it like a person would, and instead of playing it like a piano or something, because that's what a lot of other programs do. I'm gonna show it how that sounds without any effects real quick. So yeah, that's where I get like my playing, like the playing sounds come from here, but the actual effects, I use a program called EasyMix. It's by Toontrack. What is great about EasyMix is perfect for people like me because I don't really know what I'm doing, so I need presets that pretty much sound good as soon as I put it in there, because I don't know really a lot about customizing, especially guitar tones and stuff like that. It's not my thing. So this is a program that pretty much has a bunch of presets that just sound amazing out of the box. And so I'm going to turn that on. So you can see that it improves the sound by a lot. So now I already did some of the drums here, and I did some over here. So I'm gonna do the verse and show you kind of how I go about that. I'm gonna start it like right here, and I already know how the song goes and everything. So that's why I rehearse it before, because I'm not trying to figure it out right now. I just kind of like know what it's gonna happen, but I still like to listen to it. So we know the snares are going to go in 2 and 4, which that's not the snare right here. I like to start out with velocities all maximized. Sometimes I even keep it that way. But I'm trying to get like all the notes right, and then if I want to add like some dynamics and stuff, I will like go in there and mess with that. So I'm just going to start doing this. I know pretty much the whole verse is going to be like that. Let's listen. think that is good. So I think so then that goes into like a halftime thing. So but let me break it down and kind of like chunks, because sometimes like I'm thinking about like what cymbal I'm going to use and everything, which is like pretty much remembering what I did and what I'm going to do when I actually perform it. So I'm going to go back there. Now I'm going to add the kicks. So now I know how this is going to go. And that repeats almost exactly the same for the rest of it. There's a slight variation that I'll get to in a second. Oh, nope, that's not what I want to do. Yeah, so at the last part there, I believe it does something like that. So now I'm gonna go ahead and add the cymbals and everything else. This is my the way I have it set up is that I always play when I have two crashes. I have the lower pitched crash on my left side and the higher pitched crash on my right side. And so this is the lower pitch crash here, and this is the higher pitch. So this is my left and my right. So I kind of keep it in mind to keep it like consistent, and it's not just like a bunch of random cymbals. And I try to make sure that it sounds like I'm the person playing that. So I got to keep it realistic within my instruments and what I can do on the instrument, everything like that. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue with this. Know that I do this double thing, and then it's pretty simple. And actually, see, this stuff that I gotta pay attention to, since I came from a 16th note fail here, I don't actually play these two on the first one, because I'm going da 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 da. And then on my right hand here, for me to do two, I'd have to do some awkward like rushed movement that's kind of unnatural. So I actually have to like take this one out. And that's kind of the things I keep in mind to make sure that it's a realistic performance on programmed drums, because the point is to get a better quality and not to kind of get something that's unrealistic. So now that I have that, now I can add it here. Then for the second time around, I invert my hands so that I'm playing these crashes. And then I know that here, it's like two toms. There's my toms right here. And this is a flam, so I'm gonna make that a flam. So that's the flam right there. So let's hear to that little, let's just actually hear it from the beginning. So that section is done, and so next I'll have to like continue doing that, and then for the rest of the song I just keep programming it away and just get it as close as I can to what I will be playing. So I wrote the parts for the song that I wanted to do. I got it solid on electric drums, so now I'm going to a rehearsal studio and bring out my acoustic kit there. I have it all packed up and I'm going to play it there. Okay, so the drums are now all set up. I'm alone and I only have one camera. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna find a cool angle that I can shoot from, and I'll have to do it take by take, a different angle. So the first take I would do it from here, then I would move it to the other side maybe. I have to beforehand practice it so that I get it pretty much the exact same performance or really close every time, so it looks like one fluid video. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Got all the takes I needed to take. So now I have to pack all this up, go home, and edit everything together. So now the video was recorded and now I'm gonna edit it together with all the clips that I got and with the audio. So on the screen here I have all the clips that I'm gonna use, and I have the audio that we'll use. This is the GoPro audio, and this is the GoPro video, and this is my audio that I will be replacing it with. If you see here, it says audio 1, and that means that there will be probably an audio 2 and 3 and 4 and so on as needed, because I try to play the performance as close to the original arrangement that I had as possible. But I'm human, so every now and then I will I'll play a different cymbal or something like that. And if there's no takes where I actually played that cymbal, I don't want it to look off from, I want the video and audio to sound and look exactly the same performance wise. So I will actually go back into the audio and change the cymbal that I used, or the tom that I used, or whatever it is that I did different to match the video. So what I'm gonna do is I'll sync these up like so. A lot of the times I can't actually get it exactly to start the same. When that happens, it's better to have the GoPro audio or the camera audio go a little ahead than before. So far it looks synced. To show you guys how I change from clip to clip, I would delete this here. Video 2 and audio 2 are there, and so that allows me to move the audio around and sync this up, the audio of the second angle, to the final audio that I'll be using. Let's say I wanted to cut that there again, and just for the purpose of showing you guys, I'll cut back to the same clip again. So this I won't need. So what I would do is, say I want to cut here, I would bring this to video 2. I would drag it here. I would cut it, or actually I would drag it a little more to wherever I would want it. Cut it here, select these two, put them down, cut that. And so that way you only have the video that you need. So I'm gonna play that and show you how it looks. So I would go and do that throughout the whole video, all the way through, and that's what I'm gonna do now. Alright, so after all that is done, I just make little clips of it for Instagram and to promote it, and I put it up on YouTube and Facebook and wherever else. So thank you guys for watching this video. I know it was a little long. I left out a lot of parts that you might want to ask about. As it was a really long video. So if there's anything that I missed, or anything that you guys want me to go more into, or just anything at all that you want to ask, just let me know, and I'll be happy to answer the best I can. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe on YouTube, all that good stuff, and thanks.